Good evening, Buffs Nation. Wanted to go ahead and get one more live stream out today. Had some recruiting on my mind tonight, so it's probably going to be a little bit shorter of a live stream, but been a little while since I've dedicated a video to recruiting. Well, I guess outside of doing the film review on quarterback Kritza, but let's go ahead and get into it. This was a piece of news that I'm a little bit late commenting about, but I'm sure you guys have already seen so much of it. Beastly G's, good to see you. Wide receiver Aaron Butler has decided to forego the rest of his senior season this year at Calabasas High School to make sure that he's getting all the credits needed to graduate high school a semester, early and enroll at CU for this next coming semester. Huge deal. Huge deal. And I love it. I love it. Again, his family, particularly his father, has commented on this channel before. We follow each other on Twitter, and man, he has been so active in talking about this decision, saying that, man, this was not one that was made lightly at all. But I love the fact, and this is what I'm wanting to get after, is that all the guys that we got committed, well, pretty much, we haven't heard from Omar White as he's kind of figuring out, I think, some of this legal stuff. But pretty much everybody else has been incredibly active in recruiting and making sure that they're going to be here on campus in January. It's a huge deal, and we've seen them make multiple visits to campus, since the season started. I mean, feels like Brandon Davis-Swain, a defensive line commit that we have out of West Bloomfield, Michigan, is at every single home game, showing his other Michigan potential co-commits around Folsom, around the facility, the Champion Center, all of that. So I wanted to go ahead, if you guys haven't touched base yet with what's going on with the recruiting class, just wanted to take you guys through and give you my quick synopsis or opinion on these players. Want to give a shout out to Countdown Timer, absolutely SCO Buffs. But let's go ahead and just run through this list. Again, right now we got 8 commits, which is great. Again, I guess we got a 75, but who cares about that right now? I don't care. I think we'll see probably this commitment list in size probably double or so. Again, we're very methodical, I feel like, with who we're offering. And this is going to be a class that's built on a little bit more quality as opposed to quantity. We're not going out and signing 30 guys in this class. That's just not going to happen. So expect this 2024 class to be still very transfer portal heavy as well. But you can see that once 2025 hits, man, we are really hitting that high school class hard. But let's go ahead and get into this. Aaron Butler, again, this is a low ranking for him. And what is kind of a bummer, again, this doesn't really matter. Stars are stars, ratings are ratings, but it really comes down to the leader and dog that you are, the coaching and all that. But he really is a 5-star player. Go back and look at some of the videos that I've done on him in the past. His route running, his speed, his just playmaking ability, his hands. He is so dynamic, and he's a guy that I see playing a very active role within his freshman year, his true freshman year, especially with him being on campus coming in January. Getting the pace of life with school and all that down as you're in spring practice rather than dealing with it in the season is going to be a huge advantage to him. He's a guy like Dylan Edwards, man, that every time he touches the ball, he has a chance to make a big play. Now, this is where I'm really interested. Because, again, one of our weaker areas in terms of depth right now is the front 7, and we have been recruiting that very intentionally in this class. Again, Brandon Davis-Swain, huge guy, 6'3", 263 pounds. Right now, defensive line. I wonder if he might play a little bit of edge or defensive end. We'll just have to see. 4-star guy again out of West Bloomfield, has been committed here since June. We can take a look at his tape here in a little bit if you're not familiar with his game. Now, we got a couple of teammates here from Valdosta, Georgia, which is one of the biggest programs in Georgia. And both Omar White and Eric Brantley are very talented, just menaces on the defensive line. Omar White was a 4-star before, all this legal stuff kind of hit. I'm trying to remember. I think it had something to do with a firearm charge, something like that. Anyways, maybe it was a robbery. I can't remember. So that allegedly, I'll cover myself then. Allegedly, just like DiZamiro used to do, right? But hopefully everything checks out and he's able to join. He's the one, him and Eric Brantley are kind of the two guys that I'm not really sure. I think the plan is specifically for Eric Brantley to have him here in January, but I haven't heard that. But I know that it is the goal to have everybody in this class on campus in January. So hopefully that happens. Eric Brantley is really a menace off the edge for sure. Then we have Charles Lester III's teammate, Zycarl Lewis, wide receiver, and was a 4-star wide receiver before he committed to Colorado. So I guess they're still doing that thing. But he's another guy that's a speed threat, a guy that it can be a threat on special teams as well. Lots of speed, and he still might grow a little bit with that 5'10" frame that he's got. Our quarterback for this class is Danny O'Neill. He's putting up big-time numbers at Cathedral High School in Indianapolis, Indiana. Elite 11 finalist. Did not finish within the Elite 11, but I forget how many guys they bring out there, 20. Anyways, he's one of these top guys in the country. In my opinion, should be ranked higher than that 31 in the nation rating. And speaking of guys that I'm way higher on than consensus, Talan Chandler, man, this guy is a beast, a pancake machine. If you don't follow him on Twitter, he's definitely worth a follow. He's always recruiting guys. It's been great to see him. He was here a few weeks ago with Boo Carter, trying to get him, to flip from Tennessee. Him and Aaron Butler, man, they're really putting the pressure on. But you got to go watch Talan Chandler play. He's always posting the scores to his games at Nevada High School in Nevada, Missouri, and they're just kicking ass, man. They are kicking ass every game. They're running for 300-400 yards every game, just seriously kicking ass. And the biggest ass kicker on that team is Talan Chandler. That is for sure. So we're bringing a dog on the offensive line in addition to the dogs committed here on the defensive front. Lastly, Micah Welch. He kind of reminds me of Clinton Portis. He's somebody that can do a little bit of everything, man. He's got a lot of power to him, but he's got nice hands. He can run outside. He can run inside. He would be a great long-term complementary kind of 1A, 1B piece with Dylan Edwards. So that's who we have right now. I wanted to go ahead here and take a look at Brandon Davis-Swain. It's been a little while since I've talked about him. But yeah, you can see just 25 offers. He's got a ton of interest from all over the country. And again, yeah, that's right. He plays a little bit of tight end as well. If you follow him, you'll see that he has scored some touchdowns on offense, which is really fun. Plays edge on that 3-4 front. So he totaled 12 sacks and 33 quarterback hurries for this past year. And, he's going to have another phenomenal year. So anyways, guys, I think I'm going to call this a little bit early, but all that to say, I'll go ahead and do kind of a more extensive film review later, since I thought they brought this up for Brandon Davis-Swain, but it's not here. But all that to say, I think that one thing that you guys need to be paying attention to. Oh, I didn't even look at this or go to the right tab. I'm sorry, y'all. Um, yeah, kind of here's his different offers. But all that to say, when you're looking at this class, there is a clear dedication that these players have for making sure that they're going to be on campus in January, which is going to do, or which is going to pay massive dividends for this team next year. And having these guys specifically contribute early, and in some cases, early at positions of need. This is something that's very important. So, yes. Quick little video here. We'll go ahead and just get to a few comments. Then I'm going to wrap this up. Beastly G's. Yeah, we're getting some big guys on the line, and I think we're going to see some more come here soon. And Betty Stevenson, you're absolutely right. We need size on this defensive and offensive line, and you're going to be getting it with this high school class. Now, of course, with the Lions, it's going to take a little bit for them. Specifically, the offensive line, I would be a little surprised if we have any true freshmen starting on the offensive line. But man, that defensive line right now, we need a deeper rotation. We only got 6 guys on that line right now. Makes it tough. Oh, J. Dot saying that Danny O'Neal was sick at the Elite 11. That makes a lot of sense. Man, he's been putting up a ton of big numbers in Indianapolis. And Gearhead, yeah, I think we will see another O-line commit or two. This isn't based off of any information, but just the gut feeling that I have for this class, that it's going to be a little bit more trench-centric, so to speak. But with the addition of Tyler Brown coming back next year, that's absolutely huge. And speaking of O-line, I think Jordan Seaton is a guy that you need to have your eye on. He is a very good offensive tackle, one of the top-ranked offensive tackles out of IMG. He is going to kill it. So be on the lookout for a possible commitment. I would love to see that. But with Aaron Butler, he's going to be used primarily as a wide receiver, but he's a guy that you can get him the ball quickly in space. He can turn it up for a 60-yard touchdown. He's a guy that can burn people deep. He's a professional. His dad was a professional, played with Deion Sanders in Baltimore, Rob Devon Butler. But go watch some of his huddle tape. He is a big deal. And J. Dot saying Jordan and Boo are a package deal. That is my hope. Because, man, they need to get on out here to Boulder. That's for sure. But anyways, guys, this is a little bit shorter of a stream. Really appreciate your time tuning in this morning or this evening. Be sure to be on the lookout tomorrow. Going to be meeting with Big Dog, as well as having Rawhide Media on the show. So if you don't follow his channel, please be sure to do that. Really appreciate all of your time. Be sure to hit that like on the way out. And as always, Sco Buffs.